Yes, I'm unmuted. I just like to do that anyways. There are some times where people come up to me and they're hurting. They're hurting in one way or another. And they've tried to do all different kinds of things to help themselves. And because when you hurt, a lot of times you focus inward. When they try to get the best healing balms or medicines or massages or whatever for them. And I say to them, sometimes I say, why don't you go pick some apples just to give to the poor? Here's a place where they're doing it next week. Why don't you reach out to some other people and do something that helps others? And it's amazing when you reach out to help others, it heals yourself. There's a connection between helping others and helping yourself. I've looked at hand washing from both sides now, from up and down. Hand washing. Hand washing was that part of the Seder. It actually comes in twice. That part of the Seder was, they say, yeah, now is where you wash your hands. You want to go wash your hands? We're just going to go on. Hand washing is really important. I see it in a whole new light. The Torah portion talks about cleanliness and uncleanliness, and it talks about the priests had to take the ashes from the altar, which were holy, a high level of holiness, and they had to change their clothes, put on, I guess, the equivalent of hazmat suits, and carry them out to a clean place. Now, these were so holy, but they were dangerous, because if anyone who shouldn't be touching them touched them, there was danger in that, danger to their health. So I see some striking similarities between that and what's going on right now. That this disease is really dangerous. And the concept of changing your garments and putting it separate out in a special place and washing up. We have always been taught that you wash so that you don't get sick. You wash your hands so that you don't, you're not ingesting stray germs. But I have come to see that when we act for our own good, washing our hands, we're doing it for the good of the whole community. Because when we wash our hands, we're not shedding germs to other people. When we lock ourselves in right now with this very strange time, and we isolate ourselves, which is not what our soul really wants to do. But when we do it to protect ourselves, we are also protecting the community. It's very interesting, because you can say there are some things that we do for ourselves, only for ourselves, that really help the community. And there are some things that we do for ourselves that don't help the community. And those things are pretty much made clear right now. I'll give you an example of some things that you do for yourself that don't hurt the community. You find a store that just got a shipment of toilet paper and you buy them all for fear that you might not have enough. You're doing it for yourself in a way that hurts the community. You could probably think of lots of examples of that, where people do things for themselves that you would say are just selfish or greedy or egotistical. They're doing it just for themselves without thought of the community. But there's a whole slew of other things that you can do for yourself that makes the community better. If you learn CPR, you're making yourself a better person. And it makes the community better. If you apply yourself at your job and really care about about what you're doing, you'll probably get a promotion, but you're making the community better. You're making other people feel more motivated. If you apply yourself and learn an advanced degree or any degree and put yourself in a better place, you're in a better way to serve the community. You know, I asked my new daddy, I said, if someone were to apply for a position, a higher level position or a management position, and they put down on their resume that they've given 10 gallons of blood, which is irrelevant to the position, but that they've done that, or that they have been a volunteer fireman for over a decade, or that they are an instructor of CPR. If they put down something like that, how would you view that on a resume? Would that hurt them because it's irrelevant to the position? Would it help them, or would it be irrelevant? And my stepfather looked at me and he said, it would make them stand out, and it would very much help them. It would help them an awful lot for the position, because those things mean a lot. It's interesting, that connection between things that we do that help the community and things that come back and end up helping us, or things that we do that help us and ends up helping the community. That's pretty powerful stuff. I think that part of what our religion is telling us is it's important to think not only of yourself, but think of the greater picture. If we look at all of those things that we do in our life for our betterment, just for ourselves, and we divide them into the two categories, well, I'm doing it for myself, but it really helps other people. Like, I'm going to paint the outside of my house because I want to have a prettier house. Well, it helps the community too. You're doing it for yourself, but it helps the community. Divide it between those things that help you, that you're doing for yourself, that help the community, and things that you do for yourself that don't help the community, that make the community worse. I would say opt for those things that do both. I think those are things that stick with you better, that make you a way, way better person in the long run, to do those things that help you and help the community. Take a look at all the things that we do in that light, and I think you'll be guided towards holiness. So, yes, it's horrible to stay in, but you are helping this nation and you're helping the world to stay in it and not to take stupid chances. For you to not get sick helps everyone else you come into contact with. It's hard. It's hard to think of that, but it's holy work. And I also want you to think of all those people who selfishly, because they need a paycheck, are doing different jobs right now and going to work. The clerk at the grocery store, the guy that delivers for some other company. They're really heroes. You don't normally think of them as our postman is a real hero. She is, or he is. And treat them like that. They're not acting selfishly. They're acting in their best interest, but also in the interest of the whole community. As are you, all of you who are staying in. I applaud you. That's my message for today. That what's good for the community and what's good for us personally. Let's try to see them both through the same lens, and I think we'll see paths to holiness. With that,